I've always known I've wanted to be a mom. My husband, I know he would be a great father. And not being able to give him that easily without assistance or process has been hard.
I felt alone when I would be around people that had babies or see them, the couples with their family. I would feel out of place. I felt, very alone and not, as you say, a female. I didn't feel female.
And I'll admit there's a level of jealousy and shame, but I know that that's not all there is.
Polycystic ovaries are a dysfunction of the ovaries, whereby the ovaries don't work correctly. Most patients are characteristically having irregular menstrual cycles. There is a subset of patients that don't have any symptoms at all. And those are the atypical ones that I mentioned, where they only find out that they're PCO patients because as we're doing the infertility evaluation, we see that they have a characteristic look of their ovaries. Or when they get stimulated with fertility drugs, they tend to either understimulate or overstimulate from the fertility drugs.
We decided right away that we wanted to not prevent being pregnant, but not really trying really hard. And after about a year and not having any success, we started to think, well, there could potentially maybe be something wrong. I never thought my symptoms meant anything. I thought they were related to other things. I'm thinking, okay, I'm 30, I'm gaining weight. People always say your body changes, that's no big deal. The acne, I started having acne when I was like 21. I just never equated those symptoms to something that could prevent me from having a child. And so when we first got married, I didn't expect to have issues. I just thought, you know what? I can't wait, I'm excited. I bought baby books and I expected the next month that, okay, we'd have happy news, and it just wasn't like that.
PCOS affected my life because I just didn't have any will to live without having a child. I've always wanted one. When I was diagnosed, it was really hard to understand. I felt like maybe it was my problem, it was me having problems.
When a patient comes in for an initial infertility consultation, usually the history that they present gives me an idea of what types of disorders might be causing their problem. Because PCOS is an ovulation disorder, the goal is to get them to give off an egg. Treatment level 1 is ovulation induction, where we use fertility medications such as Clomid or Femara or the injectable medications to induce the ovary to function correctly and give off an egg. The problem with Clomid and Femara is that probably 80% of PCO patients won't respond to that medication. And what that means is that they won't ovulate. So those patients will end up having to go to the stronger medications, which is the injectables. The problem with those medications is that many of those PCO patients will then be super sensitive to injectable medications. And what that means is instead of ovulating just 1 or 2 eggs in a cycle, which is really all you want if you're doing natural treatments like intercourse or insemination, they'll produce 15 to 20 eggs in a cycle. Well, with 15 to 20 eggs, you can't let them ovulate because we don't want lots of octomoms or more. So those patients usually end up having to go to IVF because that's the only way that we can control how many eggs get back into the uterus.
My menstrual was not on time, so I was really irregular. I was overweight. It was hard for me to bring down my weight. I was going through depression and stress. I started thinking that, that I couldn't have a child and I never would be able to. I went to my physicians also, and they told me that I was never be able to have a baby, and I was just heartbroken. People
don't realize that being a family doesn't mean you have to have children. You're a family when you're a daughter. You're a family when you're a wife. And you don't have to have children to be a family. it's been comforting to know that, hey, I'm not the only one. I'm not going through this alone. There's people out there who know exactly how I feel, and being able to open up about it has really been a therapy for me. And just being able to talk about it, where, you know, the first several years, you know, we didn't tell anybody.
What makes us unique from probably other clinics is that we're almost like a boutique clinic. We're very one-on-one. You get, I have a small staff. I'm the only physician on staff, and I care for my patients one-on-one all the way through the process, from the time that they come in for their initial consultation all the way to the point of diagnosing their pregnancy.
Dr. Ramirez, he took me step by step on how the procedure was going to happen. He was just my coach. He was there for me. The day I found out I was pregnant, I was so excited. I thought I was walking on clouds because it's something that I never thought would be possible. Me being a mother is very exciting. It's different. It's very emotional and kind of stressful a little bit, but it's all worth it.
We currently did an insemination cycle, and so we are in that 2-week waiting period, and this is the first time where I haven't been like biting my nails and saying, oh my gosh, you know, is it there, is it not there? Just kind of saying, you know what, at the end of this, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll just go on to the next step. He told me there's always hope. So, not saying it hasn't been hard, but it's been so much easier. Having someone there with you through like beginning to end, through every cycle, and almost every week, having that support has been huge.